Hey everyone, the numbers are in for the third quarter of 2025 for the Panama City Beach market. I'm Craig Duran with the Duran Group of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. In this video, I'm going to go through pricing for the detached single family market, for the Gulfront condo market, for the Gulfront housing market, so you can see what happened in the third quarter with pricing and where pricing may be headed. Before we get into that, I want to show you one useful tool that some of you may want to sign up for. Don't worry, there's no charge for this. There's no commitment to work with me for this, but I've been selling real estate for 22 years, and I think there's a lot of misinformation about pricing. And so if you want to keep up with the pricing in your neighborhood or your condo project, we have this thing called an e-alert system. This is a simple version of what it looks like. This is set up right now for like Gulfront homes. And if something is new on the market, or if there's an open house, or a price is reduced, or something goes under contract or sells, this system will send you a simple email with that information. We can set you up to receive this as often as you would like, or if you only want to see it once a week or once a month, the system can be set up that way too. So for example, if you live in a neighborhood like Bay Point, the Preserve, Breakfast Point, what have you, and just want to see what's going on in that neighborhood, I can set you up for just that neighborhood and you can follow that. If you want to get even more detailed and only follow 4-bedroom homes with pools that are built since the year 2000, I can even do that. Same thing for Gulfront condos. We can watch just one particular project. We can do all 2 bedrooms across the beach, what have you. So if you're interested in that, give me a call, shoot me a text to 850-290-0417. This is what it looks like. Again, it'll send you simple information. You can click on each one of these and see all of the photos, all of the descriptions, so you can really start to compare and see what's going on in the market. It's easy to use. It looks great on a mobile device, tablet, desktop, what have you. So if you're looking for accurate pricing information, let me know. We'll sign you up. Again, no charge. So third quarter, some mixed signals in the real estate market. I was very surprised by this chart. This comes from a company called Showing Time, which is a system that real estate agents and brokers use to schedule a showing appointment. And this is for the entire state of Florida, so it's not exactly PCB specific, but it's worth noting. Early in the year in the state of Florida, up until towards the end of February, we were showing less real estate than we had been the previous 4 years during that same time period. If you really zoom in on this and start to look from there, we're showing about the same amount of real estate as we did the previous few years. But look at what happened, and I'm surprised by this, but look at what happened in July or the end of July. All of a sudden, we're showing more real estate in the last 60 days in Florida than we have been. I want to keep up with this chart and see if that's accurate and they need to adjust it. But if that is true, that can be a reason to be optimistic about things because, of course, showings lead to contracts, lead to closings. So we'll keep an eye on that as things move along. When we look at the overall market, remember, one number you hear me talk a lot about is months of inventory. This is a very simple number to help us figure out how hot or cold a real estate market is. The lower the number, the hotter the market. It means things are selling faster. The higher the number, like you would think, the softer the market. It's taking longer to sell something. So if we look first at detached single-family markets, so any kind of house in Panama City Beach, the months of inventory number has gone up. The market has slowed down since March of 2023. Interestingly, we got as high as 12.83 months of inventory, but we've really improved across the beach since then. If you look at it very closely, we've slowed down since June. We're up to about 8.18 months of inventory. So what this means is we're in a little bit of a soft market. If you look at the detached single-family market as a whole in Panama City Beach now, there's a lot of different kinds of detached single families. Some are short-term rentals, some are not. So what we'll do a lot of times when I'm working with a seller individually, we'll look at a specific neighborhood or we'll take rental versus non-rental. But the reason we track this so much is when this months of inventory number is going up, normally pricing is going down. So it's important to key in on that. Another way, and I'll show you an example of what I was talking about with short-term rental and not. Here's $1 million or more in Panama City Beach where short-term rentals are allowed. Let me just show you what the differences look like pretty quick. Should play the Jeopardy theme song while it's loading. So months of inventory, if short-term rentals are allowed and you're over $1 million, the months of inventory number is 26, which I can't tell you or stress enough how high that is. That's 5 or 6 months is neutral, 7 or 8 starts to get soft. 26 months of inventory means theoretically it's going to take us over 2 years to sell out of anything over $1 million where short-term rentals are allowed. Short-term rentals aren't allowed over $1 million. It's bounced around a little bit more. I'm a little surprised by this, actually. You've seen some sales here as low as 4.3 months of inventory, but again, a little bit slower in that price point. When we look at the Gulf Front condo market, this is pretty clear. Anybody who's been following this knows what's happening. We've slowed down dramatically from, let me update this to the current number. So March of 2023, we were an extremely hot 1.35 months of inventory. Obviously, you can see we slowed down all the way to 12.29 in September of 2025. And I can't stress enough how high this number is. This number is higher than the first 2 months of COVID. If you think about April and May of 2020, just from a real estate sales perspective, the number we're seeing right now is slower than that. We're rivaling the slowest time or the highest months of inventory number of the financial crisis in 2008 and 9. And look at what's happening there in the condo market. Median sales price moving down in that same period, average sales price moving down in that same period, months of inventory is moving up. So if you own a condo, you really would like to see this get back to 5 or 6 at least as soon as possible. If you're a buyer, you really like what's going on in the condo market. This has put pressure on pricing. Prices have depreciated a lot. There's as much opportunity in the condo market now as there's been in a number of years. This is the first time we've seen depreciation over the last 12 months or so. We've even seen depreciation in condos in a very long time. In the Gulf Front market, it gets a little tricky because you're trying to analyze even less data. So anywhere that there's a hole on the chart means there wasn't even one sale to pick up, but I'll load this chart up to get to September. So back in 2023, we were very active most of the year, and then you can see in 2024, and since then, a lot of months where we didn't even have any sales. But when you look at the last few months, maybe there's some signs of momentum here. We had 8 sales in the third quarter of detached or attached units on the Gulf, and we have 3 units pending currently. So there could be some signs of momentum there. I think buyers of real estate that are looking long-term in Panama City Beach are very excited about all the infrastructure updates coming. The hospital alone and what that could do for the real estate market is pretty exciting. I think we still have maybe a little short-term pain in the vacation rental market to get through before we find a bottom. So if you're selling, you need to get your head around that and decide if you're selling soon or going to be patient. Being patient might be longer than just next spring. If you're buying, again, there's tremendous opportunity everywhere you look. It may be as good as we've seen in 12, 13, 14 years. A lot of motivation out there on the seller side. So again, if you'd like to be signed up for the e-alert system, give me a call or shoot me a text at 850-290-0417. Again, a little bit about me. I've been selling real estate for 22 years. Panama City Beach is really my focus. A lot of real estate agents will sell along throughout the coast here, which I do some of that, but really my wheelhouse is Panama City Beach. For example, year to date, the Duran Group sold more resales in PCB than anyone else. We've actually sold almost twice as much as the number 2 agent or team. So it's a focus for us. If you have questions about the Panama City Beach market, buying or selling, give me a call, shoot me a text, 850-290-0417. Thanks for watching.